The night in a bush in Basingstoke.
David's team.
Right.
That's a true.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Why were you spending the night in a bush in Basingstoke?
I missed my train.
Where do you live?
Well, at the time, I lived in Kettering in Northamptonshire,
Right.
Rose of the Shires.
Why didn't you go to a luxury hotel?
Well, David, at the time, I had no money in my wallet at all, and my phone was dead. I had no way of contacting anyone.
That certainly adds up.
Why a bush? Why not a bench or, like, somewhere warmer than a bush?
Well,
Is a bench warmer than a bush?
I would say a bush is
I would
warmer
have
than
thought
a
a
bench.
bench is definitely colder than a bush. It's more exposed.
there's an old saying, you're warmer in a bush than on a bench.
So where was the bush? Paint the picture of the local
It was right
area.
in front of the train station. And there was, like, a little, like, pick-up point for taxis and stuff, and then it went down a little bit to the road, and then right in front of the road, just a load of bushes.
So you didn't look for a long time for a particularly comfy spot?
I'll level with you, David. The amount of time it took me to decide to sleep in the bush was embarrassingly short.
Right. Was it? Now, that does surprise me. It was a quick decision. You've missed your train, and you go, right, that's it. And you immediately, like, 14 seconds later, you're snoring.
Well, I actually didn't get to sleep. It was scary. I was freezing, actually. Even though the bush... It was a nice, roomy bush.
Can you remember the shape of the leaves?
It was like small, little Basingstoke leaves.
Individual leaves?
Yeah.
Variegated?
But, OK, you had to explain what that word means.
It means there's a sort of white bit on the outside, I think.
I wasn't paying attention to the leaves. I had bigger problems at the time. I wasn't sitting in the bush going, one day, I may have to justify this entire experience on what I liked it. I better memorise the leaves and whether they're gentrified or whatever you said.
So, James, you've settled down in the bush
Yes.
and you're lying there, but it's cold.
Oh, I'm sitting there.
Sitting in the bush.
Sitting there, cross-legged and cold. I had a T-shirt on.
How are you going to go to sleep sitting?
I was scared. I hadn't really... it was Friday night in Basingstoke. There were hoodlums around.
And all you had on was a T-shirt.
And jeans.
And jeans, of course.
Yes.
I still feel like the bench is warmer.
So, did anybody hear you in the bush and come and
At
investigate?
one point they did. At one point some hoodlums stopped outside the bush. They said, you know what we haven't done in a while? We haven't beaten someone up in a while. That's how they speak, David. Bullies speak like that to each other. And I was in the bush, and at the time I was wearing a red dress.
What did you say? What?
I was wearing a dress by now.
Why? You said you're in a T-shirt.
Originally I was in a T-shirt, and then I had to put a dress on.
Why did you put a dress on?
It was cold.
Where did you get a dress from?
I had it in a bag.
Why?
I was making a short film, and I had to buy the wardrobe for the cast.
You're in the bush. The hoodlums had moved on. They didn't beat you up.
I tricked them. I put the bag over my head.
You seriously put the bag over your head?
Yeah, put yourself in my shoes. They're saying they want to beat someone up. If they look down and see me wearing a dress, it'll be like Christmas. So, I put the bag over my head, and now if they look down, they'll think someone's left a bag and a dismembered body in a bush.
People at home, don't put bags on your heads.
No.
Let's go back to the temperature of this bush now. You said you went into the dress for warmth, but surely the jeans and the T-shirt were warmer than the dress. There's a lot of ventilation.
I think
he
to
said
be
he put
fair,
the dress
I
on
don't think
over.
he took the jeans
Yeah.
and the T-shirt.
Oh, it was double.
Yeah, no, but he didn't slip out of the jeans and the T-shirt, fold them up nicely at the side, and then get the dress and put it on and go, oh, I look wonderful. He wasn't doing that.
Oh, right.
By the end of the night, he's wearing the jeans, the T-shirt, the dress, and the bag.
May I just say, it's lucky this didn't happen to Melvin, because if so, he'd have been on a bench wearing a dress and nothing else.
Let's go for a guess. Is he telling the truth? Melvin, what do you think?
I think, looking at James, I can believe that he could put on a dress with a bag over his jeans and T-shirt, but a man that picks a bush over a bench, I can't trust. So on that basis, it's a lie.
Oh.
Faye.
I've got to absolutely say it's true. I'm
True?
believing every element, really.
I'm going to go true.
True.
Yeah.
You're saying true. Right. James, was it true or was it a lie?
It's true.
The D in my name stands for delicious.
Obviously, why?
Well, it was the late 60s when I was born, 1969. There are a lot of black men my age around that time being given names like Reginald and Winston and Delicious because... because at that time in America, affirmative action had just started. So black women saw an opportunity for their children to get more jobs, so what they did was, we'll give him a name that will enable him to be, you know, recognizable yet dignified to potential employers. And,
Delicious is dignified.
well, I mean, you have to understand how it's a little different in the black community than it is in your white world. And so, like the name Delicious commands great respect in the ghetto. You probably don't listen to much rap music, do you, Fern? Then there's MC Delicious, Big Papa Delicious.
French Golden.
Where did Reginald come from?
Reginald is a German name. It means mighty or wise power. And delicious means very tasty.
What was your father's name?
My father's name is Homer.
And what was his middle bit?
He didn't have a middle name.
No.
He grew up in the 30s and 40s, and it was very tough times for black people, and he couldn't afford a middle name.
And do you have brothers and sisters?
I do indeed.
And what are their names?
Well, there's Brenda, there's Kathy, there's Oliver, there's Scrumptious.
I don't think people would have thought that calling you delicious would help you get jobs, except as a food. Well, I think, shall we say it's a lie? I think that's what we're heading
You're
towards,
gonna
I
feel
think.
stupid when it's true.
So you're saying it's a lie?
Yes.
OK, Reg, is it the truth or is it a lie?
It is a lie.
So what does the D stand for in your name?
What does the D stand for in my name? None of your business.
I once had to go all the way to Bradford just to make a phone call to prove I was in Bradford.
Please, team.
OK. Why would you have to do that? Why?
Yes.
First of all, where were you living at the time?
I was living in Birmingham
For what reason did you have to go to Bradford?
to make a phone call.
OK. Who were you phoning?
It was my dad, actually. He was calling,
And your dad lived in?
Birmingham.
Were you living at the family home at the time?
I was, yeah.
You leave your family home to go to Bradford,
Yes.
phone your father in Birmingham
Yes.
to prove you're in Bradford.
That's it. Absolutely.
What was your reason for being in Bradford?
But to make the phone call,
Yeah.
you said.
I think it's better you stay out of it.
Rob, can I just say, we already know why he was there. He was there, we all know, there's no doubt about why he was there. He was there to prove he was in Bradford, to phone his dad. We know that. There's just one tiny, it's only tiny, tiny thing, if you could just, you just get that for me.
Yeah.
And that tiny thing is, what are you talking about? Just that. Once I've got that, the rest of it is all in place. It's just that little thing that I want to know.
All right, I'm working that out.
Yeah.
I've got it. Why did you need to prove to your father that you were in Bradford?
Sorry, don't, Rob. I said that exact sentence. Don't make it out that I was going, oh, hey, melons!
I'm just one of life's natural communicators. I'm able to convey it.
Unless Adol's going to say to me, if only you could say it in a soft Welsh accent, I'd understand. None of that made sense, you interpreting for
Could you put it in a Welsh accent and then we could try? Here we go.
That's it.
So the question, Adol.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? Why were you in Bradford?
Why?
No!
Sorry, no one
told you! Bradford. I know what he's going to say.
You're trying to trick me here.
Where were you, specifically? Don't say Bradford. Whereabouts in Bradford were you?
When I called him,
Yes.
I was at the coach station.
Why did he need to know you were at Bradford's coach station?
Because that's where I told him I was going.
Why? Where are you going?
I told him I was going to a university open day.
At Bradford?
At Bradford,
right.
yeah.
Now, am I right in saying that you weren't really going to this university open day?
Yeah.
You were lying to your father.
Yeah.
So you were going to Bradford to
Were you going
pretend
to
you're
Bradford
there.
at all? I wasn't intending to go to Bradford.
Where were you intending to go?
Birmingham. But you were already in
You were in
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
I know.
Yeah. But you had to go to Bradford because you'd see the number come up on the phone.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Thank you very much. What was happening in Birmingham to stop you wanting to go to Bradford? I wanted to go to a gig in Birmingham.
Music gig?
Yes, that's right. It was an Asian club night. My dad thought I was at an open university day in Bradford. But I was in Birmingham to go out to this club night and I just happened to bump into my dad. And he says, I thought you were supposed to be in Bradford. And I said, I'm on my way. So he goes, get to Bradford.
And when you get there, phone me.
Yeah, make sure you call me.
And you know as you're going, the only reason is because you know the number is going to be recognised, as opposed to phoning from Birmingham and pretending you're in Bradford.
Yeah, because I was worried that he might try and call me back. So, you know, you get to a phone book.
Oh, I
and
see.
Then, and then he goes, let me call you back, son. What did you do? I couldn't get back because I'd got a late coach.
Why don't you just go to the Open University, wherever it was?
Well, I didn't want to go to the Open University. I want to go to the club night.
But you're not going to the club night, that's it. You can't go to the club night.
There was no university thing. I'd made that bit up.
Oh, it wasn't even...
You made that up?
Oh, you'd made it up?
Yeah.
So, you're in Bradford.
Yeah.
It's the evening.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Well, basically, so I realised that, you know, what do you do if you're on your own in Bradford? You go and find a fellow Asian, you know. So I went into this pizza place near the station, and I just sort of put on the role of a vulnerable Pakistani student and just said, you know, I need help and I want pizza.
And he gave you a pizza for nothing?
Not only did he give me a pizza, stroke of luck, he let me stay in a room that night.
Why didn't you just go back to Birmingham?
Because I couldn't get a coach.
It was late.
It was late.
If it was too late, it would be after 10 o'clock or something, so you went to the open day...
There's no open day.
There wasn't.
It's a very...
There is no open
It's
day.
a very...
He has told his father...
Sally.
I'm now all over this.
Yeah.
He told his dad there's an open day. The open day doesn't exist.
In Bradford.
It's only there. It's only there as a lie, so he can pretend he's going to it and spending the night. He wants to go to the Asian club night now. His dad catches him in the street and goes, "Get yourself off to Bradford. You'll be late." He goes, "Oh yeah, I've forgotten all about that." He gets on the bus. He goes up to Bradford. He's now going to ring the dad because he knows that he'll phone him back. And then he's now in Bradford. He can't get the bus back. It's far too late. There's no open weekend. But luckily, he's starving, and as we all know, there's one thing that the Asian community like. It's a pizza. And then he goes... The famous Pakistani pizza!
Can I just ask you, did you like the look of the university? I mean, did it appeal to you?
University!
Oh, all right, so Lee, what do you seem to know it better than him?
Yes.
I think it's true because he threw up a lot of smokescreen tissue, smokescreen.
So he's covering up. I know what you mean.
He told us nothing.
He told us nothing, which is, I think, why it's true.
What do you think, Bob?
I think it's
True.
Yeah.
Then I'll go with my team and say
All
it's
going
true.
for true. OK. Adil, was that true or was that a lie?
Sorry, Dad. It was a true.
Yes.